Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miquel, and I work at Codify. And today I will tell you to explain what we have done. Okay. So Codify is a small company. We are more or less 35 persons. But as you can see from these numbers, we do really big things. And some of you may be wondering what kind of things we do. Quite easy. We are the owners of PornTube, ForTube, Pornerbros, and Facts.com, and also the multi-AVN awards winners, Tushy, Vixen, and Black.com. If you feel alone tonight in your hotel, just remember these names. Another great thing, we are always looking for talent. We have positions open. If you want to apply, you know how usually things are. Just kidding. Just check our website. Well, a little bit of history. 1 year ago, we were the typical Symfony PHP application, and our stakeholders decided that they wanted to do something new. New design, new features, and after coming to this very same conference, we decided that we were going to do it with React. And after 1 year, we have lots of lessons. We have learned lots of things. But if I try to explain everything in 7 minutes, I think I will faint. So today, I will only talk to you about routing. It's quite easy. We have used React Router, and that's it. But React Router doesn't allow us to do some things. For example, we want to have all the route configuration in one file. And when we started, React Router was only version 3. So there was no React Router config project. So we decided to create our own. So we have a file with all the routes. One route looks more or less like this. It has a name, a path, the component that is going to load, and we can do async fetching of the component, and also the data we need to show to the user, the call to the data. We feed this information to a route renderer, more or less like render routes of the React Router config project. But ours is a little bit more clever. By just adding this parameter, this route becomes secure. Only a logged-in and authenticated user can access to this route. For example, this is the listing of your favorite videos. Another thing we needed was some way to make links. React Router gives you the link component, but at the end you have to write the whole URL. And this is something we don't like, because if you change one URL, you are going to look for that URL across your project, and it will take you lots of time. So we created our own component. Link component is just something built on top of the React Router link component, but you just pass the name of the route and the parameters it will need. And it's clever enough to build the whole URL, the part of the path name and the part of the query string if it's needed. This component will print this, just as simple as that. Another thing we needed also was some way to fetch the data when a route is loaded. At the end, a route is a component, but this component needs some data from the server. So we needed to do that. And we need to do it in a way like the typical website. Although we are a single-page application, we wanted to give the user the look and feel of the typical website. We didn't want spinners. We didn't want skeletons. We didn't want that. It's just clicking a link, and all of a sudden, the page appears. When we were using React Router 3, it was just as easy as use the onUpdate method of the router and a little bit of tricking in the render. But someday, the people from React Router decided that they were going to launch version 4, and they deprecated the onUpdate method. And Anger built and, well, yeah, did I tell you that we are looking for people in our company? That happens. So we decided to create our own component. We call it the async data fetcher. And it more or less looks like this. We have, in the render method, it just renders a route. And this route is built on top of the routes of the project. So by setting the location, the location prop, we can set in which location are we. As you can see, we have previous location and location. And when previous location exists, it loads that, and if not, it loads location. So How we do the going from one to another? Quite easy. We use the component will receive props, and when one location change, when there is some kind of routing, we get this location change. We detect if the user has navigated, and we check it just by using the path name and maybe the query string, for example, page 2, page 3, if it's in the query string. And once we detect that, we set the previous location to the current location, not the one that is going to be loaded. And by doing so, we block all the rendering of the new component and begin to load the data. The way to load the data is quite easy. We get the route from the path name. We extract the parameters from the path name and also from the query string. And we call this async data fetcher function, that the only thing that does is that it goes, asks for the information in the server, and feeds it to the store. We are using Redux, and does it like that. And as you can see, we do some kind of object assign thing to merge the parameters that came from the path name and also from the query string. So if we are in page 2, we are also sending that information to the server. And when everything goes well and it doesn't fail, we set the previous location to null. And then you see the full page with your data loaded. As you can see, there is no error handling here because it's kind of tricky to do. But it's more or less like that. So thank you very much. If you have questions, apart from that one, you can find me here or contact me via Twitter. And if you want to check our awesome work we have done tonight, not now, please, check our website. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Let's look at the questions. Question. Does your dev environment use real data?
Yes. Like real data with real pictures and videos and things, yes.
How many users use favorites page on your website?
Not too many. Usually people come, do its job, and leave. Yes?
Proper job, yeah.
More questions? I have stickers. If you want, you can ask. We use Docker.
They stick properly, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any reason not to use GraphQL instead of async data fetcher?
Yes. We had lots of traffic, and we were trying like the sizes of the packets with GraphQL and with REST, and it has a lot of overhead. So it's going to be more expensive. But maybe in the future, by playing a little bit more, we can use it.
Miguel, thank you very much for your time.